guys, it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to Marathon Wednesday, where we take on those big catalogues, and this one is a big catalogue. It's 27, so we've split it up into two parts. And the band we're going to look at, and this is a request, and it is for German heavy metal band Rage. So today we're going to go from number 27 up to number 14. So they were formed in 1984 by Peter Wagner, whose nickname is PV Wagner. They were merged from that early sort of Big Four scene alongside Gravedigger, Running Wild, and of course Halloween. They've started their life as a band called Avenger, and they released one album as Avenger, but they had to change their name due to the existence of another band in England with the same name. Now, over the years, they have had 17 musicians. So they've had some interesting people in there. We'll go through them. But they have released 27 albums. So we'll get cracking on this one. So, coming in at number 27 is their 9th full album released. And it came out in 1994, and it's called 10 Years in Rage. This album contains new material and previous unreleased tracks from the band's long career, as well as re-recording of songs from their first album under the name Avenger in a Melody. So we've got PV Wagner on vocals and bass, Sven Fischer on guitars, Spiros Ephemadis on guitars, and Chris Ephemadis on drums. Additionals on here are Jochen Schroeder, Rudi Graf, Manny Schmidt, Thomas Göring, Alf Merakaten on guitars, and the infamous on bouzouki. Jorg Michael plays drums on Prayers of Steel 94. So the first track on here is called Vertigo. It's got a lot of that industrial sort of sound on the drums, full power all the way through. It's okay. She Killed and Smiled. Not a great fan of this song. The drumming's a little bit off. It's not that brilliant. Destination Day. The snare sounds too high and too tinny and shallow, and it spoils the track a bit. It doesn't sort of harmonise with the bass drums. Take My Blood. The riffs are really good. The drumming lets it down again on that one. No Signs of Life. A little bit too long. Drums are not very good on it either. Again, Submission, a typical power metal track. It's got a really good solo in it. I don't mind that one. But the best track on here is called The Unknown. It's probably the better of the worst here. It's pretty solid. The drums sound okay. Dangerous Heritage. It's not the best track. Prayers of Steel 94. It's okay. It's not a bad version, but I do prefer the original. And then we have this little medley of songs from that first album. Blow in the Row, Execution, Guaranteed Suicide, Down by Law, Don't Fear the Winter, Invisible Horizons, Waiting for the Moon, Enough is Enough, Solitary Man, and No More. Just hasn't got the same ring as the originals. Yeah, this album. You thought for their anniversary they could have done something a little bit more dynamic. The drumming is very shallow on this, and it really spoils the album. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 4 out of 10. So, coming in at number 26, their 20th album from 2010, and it's called Strings to a Web. So you got PV Wagner, you got Victor Samolsky on guitars, and cello and orchestral arrangements, Andre Hingers on drums. Additional here, we've got the Linga Mortis Orchestra, which is Hansi Kirsch, Yen Marajua, Thomas Hackerman on backing vocals, and Samantha Hilger's vocal scream on Hell Girl. The Edge of Darkness, It's got that typical sort of power metal, continental metal. It's not too bad. Hunter and Prey. It's got a great riff on here from Victor. I like that, and Andre's drumming is very solid on that track. Into the Light, favourite track on this album. It's just got a brilliant bass line from PV. It's absolutely dynamite. It shakes you to the bone. The Beggars Last Time, Victor and Peavy's interplaying this at the beginning is really good. They sort of have a little bit of a, as I say, a bit of a duel, and it really works. And then we have this Empty Hollow suite. It's split up into little bits. First bit is called Empty Hollow. Good track, a great vocal from Peavy. I like that. Strings to a Web. The guitar solo is absolutely brilliant from Victor. Fatal Grace is a short little track. We got a little bit of piano going on there, and that's okay. Then we have Connected, a little bit poppy rock. Don't know what that's doing in the middle of it. And then we get a little bit more of Empty Hollow, and then we get Saviour of the Dead. Grunty voice on here, really heavy. Hell Girl, I like the shrieking on that. Whoa, from this from what's her name, Samantha Pearl Heelgers. Absolutely brilliant. Purified, nice grunt, it's okay. Through the Ages, a little acoustic number which you don't get. The acoustic guitar on that is really super. Tomorrow Never Comes. I like the drumming on this. Yeah, well, this album has some really good traps in. I think the drum mix is still a little bit shallow, not heavy enough to carry the bass and the guitars, but I just think it could be the good tracks could have been mixed better. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 4.3. Coming in at number 25, it's the 21st album, and they just called it 21, released in 2012. So you got P.V. Wagner, Victor Samolsky, Andre Hilgers, and additional musicians, Hacky Hackerman backing vocals. So you got this little introduction called House Winds. Some sort of gambling going on, it's haunting sound, it's quite a good intro, and that goes straight into 21. The vocals are good, it's more than a shout, but I do like Andre's drumming on that. It's absolutely brilliant. It's got the mix perfect. Forever Dead, solid track, just what it says on the tin, you can't complain about that. Feel My Pain, it's gone back to a little bit of tinny drumming. That's all right. Serial Killer. I sometimes find that PV is vocal. He hasn't got. Sometimes he's sort of grunt is a little bit weak in times. He hasn't got the same as the guys from Opeth or something. It's not got that same. Oh, it's more of a sound. Then we have Psycho Terror, which is my second favourite track. The riffs on this are brilliant. It's a good old-fashioned head-banging song, that is. Destiny, another solid drum from Andre. The riffs are good as well on that one. My favourite track on here is a thing called Death Romantic. It's got some great meaty riffs, and the thumping bass line from BB is excellent. Really, another one that shatters you as you're listening to it. Black and White, it sort of carries on from the same sort of theme on Dead Romantic. Excellent track. Concrete Wool, short, sharp, heavy metal track. Really good. Eternity. Certain heavy metal bands will just stick to heavy metal and not do ballads. And this is a ballad. It's not very good. It isn't a bad album. But when you got so many, it's hard, you got to have some at the bottom. And in any other catalogue, there was about 15. This would be, it's pretty solid. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 4.6. Okay, coming in at number 23, we'll have the 19th album, and this came out in 2008, and it's called Carved in Stone. It's the same, the steady lineup of this period: PV, Victor and Andre. Thomas Hackerman and Iain Madura are backing vocals. First track is title track, Carved in Stone. I really like Victor's guitar work on this. It's another great vocal from PV. Excellent little track that is. Drop Dead. Apart from the opening riff sounding like a little bit of Masters of Puppets, it's pretty good. It's got that real energy, and I do like that. Gentle Murders. I love the bass line on this from PV. It's got a real frantic feel about it. And you got Andre's, them hitting them. I love that hi-hat cymbal sound on that. It's powers on. It's just good old-fashioned hard power thrashy metal. Open My Grave. It's got a mystique start, you know, that keyboard, it's got that Eastern feel, and then suddenly the drum sort of rolls in unexpectedly and blows you away, and the riffs are super on that track. Without You, bit of a slow track on here. It's okay, I don't mind it. Long Hard Road, I love this track because I love when you get the hi-hat and the cymbals in a track like that. You get the drums, the double bass drum, and that. I love that sound, and it sounds really good on that. My favourite track from this album is a little track called One Step Ahead. It's a powerful power metal track. Drumming's commanding it. The vocal from PV is great. I love the riffs are good, and the change of time signature is really good. Lost in the Void, solid track. Some great riffs on this one from Victor. Really going for it. Mouth Agreed. This is driven by the bass of PV and Andre's drums. They really brilliant. The vocal on here, it reminds me of Andy Derry from Halloween, how he delivers it. Very good. Lord of the Flies. Another really good track. There's some lovely piano on this as well. A bit of variation with the orchestral, and it's quite good. Quite a good album. Melodic tracks. Shame there's so many in the catalogue, because I do really like this one. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 4.8. Okay then, coming in at number 22, we're going to go to 1996 for their End of All Days album, and it was their 12th. Different lineup on here. PV Wagner on vocals and bass, Sven Fischer on guitars. We've got Spyros Ephemadis on guitars, Chris Ephemadis on drums, and orchestration is done by Christian Wolf. First track is called Under Control. Quite like that. The drumming from Chris is brilliant. He's a good drummer, and he's improved since that 10 Years in Rage. Higher the Sky, a little bit different, a nice bass line from PV. Solid track as well. Deep in the Blackest Hole, very melodic. I love the riffs on here. The guitar work from Sven and Spyros is very good. It's that lovely twin sound. Then we've got End of All Days. Nothing special. It's just a solid metal track. It just things. Visions. The twin guitar sounds great on it. It's a rich sound. That bass backs it up. Desperation. Favourite track on here. The melodic bit is brilliant. I love twin guitars in metal. Always have. And there's lots of shredding going on as well. It's pretty solid. Voice from the Vault. Starts off with PV grunting. I don't think he has got the voice for that. He's got a real deep voice, but grunting, no. Don't do the grunts. Just do that lovely deep vocal. Let the Night Begin. Good old-fashioned power metal. Some great guitar work. Super solo on there. Not sure if it's Sven or Spyros, because it doesn't say, but it's absolutely wonderful. Fortress. Sometimes when they've slowed this down, there's a little bit of heaviness thrown in there, but it's not my favourite track. Frozen Fire, another of my favourite tracks. The drumming from Chris on this is amazing. I love power metal drumming. It really is good. Talking to the Dead, 4 minutes of great music, a great solo, top draw. Mask, Face Behind the Mask, short track with another great solo. It's powerful, it's punchy, it's quick. And then Fading Hours, a melodic track here. There's some lovely keyboard on there that really adds to it. It's a good album. There's some dynamite tracks on here. Really good solos on this, and the twin guitars work well. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking, a 5 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 21, the fourth album from 1988, and it's called Perfect Man. And a different drum lineup. We've got P.V. Wagner on vocals and bass, Manny Schmidt on guitars, and Chris Ephremidis, I can never say his name, on drums. Wasteland is the first track. It's a really good track. It's a great sort of three member band power track. The guitar from from Manny is excellent. In the Darkest Hour, high-pitched vocals don't really work on that. Yeah, Animal Instinct. This is why I think PV's vocals did start to change. This is where he was more high-pitched, and it rings a little bit. Perfect Man, best track on the album. The bass line is fantastic. Drums from Chris are great. It's one of the best tracks. Off goes, sounds like an ambulance, or I don't know. I'm always getting sirens around here. Sinister Thinking. I love the guitar work on this from Manny. Really good, very intricate. Supersonic Hydromatic. The vocal is awful. The drumming seems to be too fast. Should slow down, Chris, and let everyone catch up with you. Don't Fear the Winter. This has got a great guitar solo from Manny. The drum seems to be going off on its own thing there. Death in the Afternoon. Great bass line. A great vocal from PV on that one. A Pilgrim's Path. Everyone seems to be caught up with each other on this. It's a well balanced track. The bass is good. The guitar work is good as well. Time and Place. It's one of these sort of gloom and doom tracks, doom metal. It's a very good track. The guitar riffs are really atmospheric and give it that doomy sound from Manny. Round Trip. I love the drum roll on this. Right round the kit, and a brilliant guitar solo. And the final track is called Between the Limes, and the drummer Chris is running away with himself again. There are some killer tracks on here, but the drumming seems to gets a little bit excited at times. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5.2. Okay, coming in at number 20 then, the 16th album from 2002, Unity. Another lineup. It's P.V. Wagner on vocals and bass, Victor Samolsky on guitars, and we've got Mike Tirana on drums. Backing vocals on this one done by Hansi Kirsch and DC Cooper. All I Want opens up this one. Some great guitar work here from Victor. Very good riffs like that one. Insanity. Great vocal from PV on this. I like it when his voice is more rugged. It's an excellent track. Down. Victor's on fire with his riffs. It's riff after riff and shred after shred. Brilliant track. Set the World on Fire. This one takes a little bit of time to get going, but one it does. Boy, is it good. It's thumping. It's a really good track. Dies Array. This is a really gothic sound. Best track on the album. It's dramatic. It's got some nice guitar bits and a lovely little bass line in there. A good vocal as well. World of Pain. The bass line from PV is good. It just really drives the song. It's one of those classic sort of power metal tracks. Shadows. It's a little short piece. It's on the keyboards. I think it's Victor, and it's just under a minute. It's quite nice. Living My Dream. It's a little bit disjointed, this one. Not a particular favourite of mine. Seven Deadly Sins. It's just what that is. You know, you listen to, that's Rage. That's okay. It's pretty good. You Want It, You'll Get It. Yeah, it is one of the weaker tracks on the album. It's a bit of a, so I call it the chest pounding sort of thing. Unity. It's a nice instrumental. The drumming is very prog on here. Some lovely keyboard bits in it as well. It's a really nice track to end the album. It's a very good album. I think this would be a lot higher if it was a shorter catalogue. But there's so many albums in this catalogue. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5.4. Drawing up already. Okay, coming in at number 19, we got the sixth album from 1990. It's called Reflections of a Shadow. Who we got on this one? We've got P.V. Wagner on vocals and bass and classical guitar. Manny Schmidt does electric and acoustic guitars. Chris Ethermaidis on the drums. We've got additional musicians. We've got Uli Kolner on keyboards, organ and backing vocals. Okay, this one opens up with another introduction, and it's called A Bit More of Green. It's that typical sort of introduction on a heavy metal album. It's eerie, it builds up, it's got the chorals and acoustic guitars, and then it goes straight into That's Human Bondage. And I like the little transition between the two tracks. Some sweet guitar playing on this. It really is good. Truth, Face in Everyone. A great vocal from PB on this one. This is where he's starting to sound like the more mature PV, and it really is good. Flowers That Fade in My Hand. What a drum from Chris. Absolutely dynamite. Backed up with a really good bass line from PV. Reflections of the Shadow, the title track. It's got some very creative riffs here from Chris. Really solid track. Can't Get Out. Starts off quite melodic and ploddy, and then all of a sudden, bang, we get going. The weird vocal from PV is quite interesting. Waiting for the Moon, my favourite track from this album. That lovely rolling drum riff's one of the best vocals that PV done on this album. Super track. Saddle the Wind. It's poor old PV didn't hit some of them notes. I think he thought he was still singing when he started the band, but it has got some nice riffs. Dust. Chris's drum is powerful. Kept the timing perfect on that one. He's one of these drummers, I think, that, I mean, he's very solid, but sometimes he gets a little bit carried away. And the last track, Nobody Knows, is a little bit different here. Some high notes as well. Yeah, it's a pretty solid album track to end with. Again, as I said, these albums, there's not really bad albums. It's just a lot of the same. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5.5. Okay, coming in at number 18, we're going to go to the 24th album, which came out in 2020. And it's called Wings of Rage. So we got, and this was the last album that featured Marcos Rodriguez. So you've got P.V. Wagner, Marcos Rodriguez on the guitar, and Velasquez Manatopoulos on drums. Yeah, all these fancy names that I can't say. So the first track is called True. Love the drumming here from Velasquez. Really nice vocal from PB as well. Good track. Favourite track on here is the second track, Let Them Rest in Peace. It's raw, it's plug in and go, and no fancy stuff, just pure heavy metal there. Chasing the Twilight Zone. I like the little bit of the Twilight Zone at the beginning. It's pretty cool, and then it goes into this real gritty, meaty dirty riff from Marcus. Absolutely brilliant. Tomorrow. Again, I think this is where the drums go off at 500 mile an hour and everyone seems to be playing catch up. I don't like tracks like that. Wings of Rage, it's got that sort of typical sort of thrash metal, heavy power metal riff, and the drums are good as on that one. Shadow Over the should we start that one again? Shadow Over Deadland, which is the Twilight Transition, is a short instrumental, few noises, don't know what it's there for. Should have just been put together and start off at a nameless grave. I love the keyboard on this, and there's a little bit of church organ on it at the beginning, which is fabulous. I love tracks that start like that. Don't Let Me Down, this is what I call proper crash bang wallop metal. A great vocal from PB. It's energy, I like that. Shine a Light, it's a bit of a ballady thing. We've got some keyboards on it. I don't know why heavy metal bands think they have to do ballads. I don't know. Then we've got HTTS 2.0. The beginning of this, it sounds like the airplane at the beginning of back of in the USSR from the Beatles, but then it goes into these great riffs. Blame It on the Truth, another solid track. The bass line is the winner on this. It really churns along. For Those Who Wish to Die, the bass and the drumming are perfect on here. I love the rolling sound on the drums. Very solid album, a little bit repetitive in places, but on the whole, very, very good. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5.6. Okay, number 17 on the list is the 15th album, and it was released in 2001, and it's called Welcome to the Other Side. This is PV, Victor Samolsky and Mike Tirana, and the first bit is a little instrumental intro for 50 seconds called Trauma. Pointless. They could have just added the 52 seconds onto Paint the Devil with the Wall. And in my books it should have just been this whole track opening. You don't need that. It's a great track, great guitar work from Victor, and the bass is brilliant from PV. Mirror in Your Eyes is our next track. Hate the drumming on this, it sounds so tinny. It just spoils it. Okay, then we've got this little, it's like a little suite, and it's called Tribute to Dishonor. So it's split into 4 parts. So the first part is called R.I.P. Very solemn, some nice piano. It really sounds like haunting vocal from PB as well. It sort of captures what it is, R.I.P. Then the second bit is One More Time. That piano continues, and then you get this thundering riff from Victor that really takes it up to the next level. Then we get Requiem, and then it goes down again. You've got this piano piece from Victor, slows everything down before we go into the last part, my favourite bit of the whole album, and it's called I'm Crucified. The piano in the keyboard, and then all of a sudden you get this power and urge that comes in. The riffs on the track are excellent. It's a really good way to end that piece. It's a very, very good piece. Next track, No Lies, a powerful track. The drumming on here from Mike is absolutely top drawer. Really thunders around that kit. Point of No Return. It's got some sounds like bongos. I don't know if it is, but it's quite a strange track. Leave It All Behind, another strange old track. Doesn't really fit on the album. It's more poppy rock song than heavy metal, but it's not bad. Deep in the Night, very melodic, and definitely different from the first part of the album. And Welcome to the Other Side. This is the raunchy, heavy, raw stuff. Brilliant little track. Then we have this little interlude called Lunatic. Some nice guitar work, which goes into a track called Riders on the Moonlight. Pretty solid track. I love the riffs on this. It's a fantastic vocal from PB as well. Straight to Hell. It's okay. That's what it says on the tin, really. After the end, I like the acoustic bit on this. just doesn't fit, but it's nice. Sister Demon, cracking track to end the album. It's full of riffs and shredding and all sorts. Okay, when you've got an album with 17 tracks, there's always going to be ones on here that don't fit. I mean, it's got some oddballs on it, but it doesn't spoil it, really, because they're quite good. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 5.8. Okay, coming at number 16 is their most current album, and it only came out a few weeks, well, a month or so ago. It's their 27th album, and it's called A New World Rising. So the band now is Peter P.V. Wagner, Jean Borman on guitar, Stefan Weber on guitar, and Velasos Manitopoulos on drums. So they've gone back to a four-piece. So the first track on here is the title track, A New World Rising. It's a really good track. You've got a speech and it builds, and you've got to go straight into the next track. The two twin guitars work. It's a great vocal from PB, even in 2025. It's a lot deeper now. Against the Machine, he's a little bit shouty on this. I think he's straining his voice a bit, but I do like the guitar work on this. It's fabulous. Freedom, a cracker. The riffs are good, the drumming's good, even the vocal is good. It's just a solid track. We'll Find a Way. It's not the best track on the album. It's a bit crash bang wallop. Cross the Line. The vocal is a bit groggy, but it doesn't matter because it's just a powerful riff track. The Next Generation. Very solid track. Some nice guitar work on that. My favourite track on here is a thing called Fire in Your Eyes. The vocal from PV is really good. He's not straining his voice, that's what makes it good. The riffs are really good. Leave Behind, the guitar work between Jean and Stefan is really good. It's very melodical. Paradigm Change. Yeah, you can definitely tell the change in PV's voice. Down an octave, but it's a really good track. Fear of Out of Time. I'm not a fan of this. Doesn't sound that good. Beyond the Shield of Mystery. Not too bad. Got some nice tracks. Then they've do Straight to Hell 25. It's re-recorded off the Straight to Hell, which was on Welcome to the Other Side. I actually think this is better than the original. It's got a much more meatier track. It's not very often I say things like that, but I think this is much better. It's an okay album, but they've been going for such a long time. PV's voice has definitely changed on this, but the guitar work is great. So it's a very, very solid album. Pretty consistent. So I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay. Coming in at number 15, the 23rd album, and this came out in 2017, and it's called Seasons of the Black. So the lineup is PV. We've got Marcos Rodriguez, and he's now changed his name to Lucky Manatopoulos on the drums. So we open up with the title track, Season of the Black. Great heavy metal track. Starts off with the wind howling and all that, and the riffs come in. Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. I like tracks like that. Serpents in Disguise. Killer guitar solo on here from Marcus. Absolutely. Wonderful bass line from PV. Very good track. Blackened Karma. I like how this starts. The drums come in here. The bass comes in. It's eerie. And then Marcos puts this riff on it. It's some of the best guitar playing on the album. My favourite track though is Time Will Tell. Purely I love the riffs. It's just strong, heavy riffs. It's just a proper heavy metal struck. Septic Bite. Another great track. Absolute killer vocal from PV. What a riff. It's a very catchy riff. Walk Among the Dead, probably his name is Valasos, best drumming on the album. Thundering, and it's got a great vocal from PV. All What We Know Is Not, another killer bass line from PV, really drives that song along. Then we get this another of these longer songs that split up, and this is Gaia, the Tragedy of Man. Part 1 is a little acoustic bit before it goes into part 2, Justify, which is one of my favourite parts of this. It's got an amazing guitar riff, and then the solo on it is really good. That drumming is really meaty. Bloodshed in Paradise is part 3. The first part is quite melodic with a great bass line, then speeds up into just some fabulous metal. Farewell, the last part. The keyboard work is really nice. It gives you that extra dynamic, and it's a great track to end the album. I really enjoy this album. Again, you know, this could have been in the top 10, but there's so many albums, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.2. Okay, we've reached the last one for today. It's number 14, which is their 17th album, 2003, Sound Chaser. Now, this is a concept album that features a science fiction horror story about the Sound Chaser, which is Rage's mascot. It's a biocommonoid creature crafted by the elders to serve as a sentinel. It turned into a monster, attacking anything that makes a sound. That's interesting. So, the lineup on this one is P.V. Wagner, Victor Samolsky, drums, Mike Tirana, additional musicians. One and only Mr. Andy Derry does singing on Wake the Nightmares. Thomas Hackerman backing vocals. So the first track is called, it's a little opener, and it's called Orgy of Discretion. You get crashes of lightning and thunder. You know, the drums come in and get little creepy bits of keyboard from Victor, and it goes into War of the Worlds. Starts off as excellent. The drumming is absolutely brilliant here from Mike. Love this track. It's got everything. It's got anger, it's got angst, it's got everything. Really good. Great Old Ones. The riff sounds something that Motley Crue would do, but thankfully it's not Motley Crue. Sound Chaser, the track itself, is a killer track. That riff is brilliant. Defenders of the Ancient Knives. Not a big fan of this. It's a little bit boring. But Secrets of a Weird World is outstanding. From that intro keyboard from Victor, the piano always throws something special on it. The guitar work is just an absolute belter of the track. Flesh and Blood is next. Brilliant guitar from Victor, some of the best on the album. Human Metal, stunning work from Victor. The vocal from PV is good, really good. See You in Heaven or Hell. More killer riffs, more great bass line. Then we get another of these this is a two-parter, Falling from Grace. Part 1, Wake the Nightmares. And this is Andy from Halloween. Great vocal, nice song. Good choice to have Andy singing this, because I think PV wouldn't have done it as good as Andy. And then the second bit is Death is on Its Way. PV takes over the vocals, and it's a little bit more heavier, and it works. So the whole track to sell, you've got the lovely tones of Andy to start it, and PV finishes it with a boomf. Excellent album. This just missed out on the top 13, to be quite honest. So absolutely brilliant album. Lovely concept, some great playing on it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.3. Okay, next week we'll do part 2 from number 13 up to number 1. Okay, that's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow where we've got a sophomore drome, and it's a bluesy one. We've got Fleetwood Mac, Mr. Wonderful against ZZ Top's Rio Grande Mud. And tomorrow's Pick and Mix is in the camera's eye, and we're going to look at Priest Live, a concert recorded in Dallas on the Turbo Tour. So that's all coming up tomorrow. And don't forget, tomorrow night is live stream night, and we're back to normal times, which is 8 p.m. in the evening here in the UK, 12 noon on the West Coast, and 3 p.m. on the East Coast. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.